I'm really pleased to be here today in Westminster, outside the House of Lords, and I'm going to be going to an event run by Policy Connect to be talking about the next Women's Health Strategy. And I'm really pleased to have been invited because regulation is sometimes missed out on some of these discussions. And so why is regulation important, and why is women's health in particular an issue for regulation? Well, at the PSA, we've done some research. 2022, our Safer Care for All report looked at some of the relevant inquiries in this area, including Cumberland and Patterson. I found that actually it was, much of the time, women who were adversely impacted. Also, heard of, instances of great harm, such as pelvic mesh and valproate. And of course, as we all know, the much known about maternity failings. So yes, there's plenty of issues showing that failings of care really disproportionately affect women. Regulation has a really important role in terms of making sure there are fair standards, consistent standards, and that the standards should be for all. So why then, in where we are now, 2026, still seeing issues where, as described, some medical misogyny issues are actually happening in regulation too? Well, one example we can look at potentially is non-surgical cosmetics. This is one of the biggest examples, I think, currently of gaps which are disproportionately affecting women. So non-surgical cosmetics, fillers, Botox are currently legal in the UK. The issue, of course, is how do women know? And it is mostly women who are accessing these treatments, although obviously affecting men. How do women know, who's safe? And arguably, they shouldn't have to try and make that decision. All of these products should just be safe. We think this is an area where actually regulation has been really slow to catch up with what's happening and make sure that women can access safe treatments. There has been some progress, so it's now no longer legal for children under 18 to be able to access these products, which is a very sensible step. But that currently only applies in England, so we think it's important that's rolled out across the rest of the UK as well. Governments in Scotland and England are also looking at introducing proposals for more licensing around cosmetics and actually restricting some of the more very risky procedures to regulated professionals. So at the PSA, we support that, but we think it's really important that momentum isn't lost on these areas. And again, that this is spread to all areas of the UK so that we can reduce the risks of people travelling to different countries and sort of being at more risk than others in terms of cosmetic tourism. So just to summarise, really looking forward to entering the debate today, to making sure that regulation can be considered as part of making the Women's Health Strategy a success, and to hearing from others about how we make that happen.